And we are live. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, I like that little live button that goes on,
Yeah, it's like semi-professional almost.
right? It just pops up and it's like, "Hey, we're live," and I'm like, "Oh shit, look." Uh,
We're not dead. That's the important part.
you don't know. I
Well, I
could
mean,
be
at
as
most we'd be undead.
undead, yes, at most, at most. Dude, you gonna go see a disaster artist?
I want to, but I'm broke. It's why I have to run a Kickstarter to get my comic book going.
That makes sense. Makes sense. How's the Kickstarter going?
Oh, it's
It's going.
it's going. Yeah. We're only the goal is like 9K because that's how much is necessary.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
But we're at like 70.
Hey, it's a start.
It is a start, especially since there's only 3 backers, so
Oh yeah. Have you gone to the comic book shops and stuff yet?
no, I haven't had a chance to hit them up yet.
Dude, because I was gonna say it looks cool. Like I was staring at the art for it.
Yeah, it's kind of got like a modern blend to that old school style.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I have no talent when it comes to art at all.
Oh, well, it's not my art.
I was gonna say even then, like even if
Mhm.
they're like, hey man, just shade this or color this, and then you'd look at it and it's be like, dude, do you know how to color in the lines? And I'd be like, no,
Yeah,
no, I don't.
mock up for the whole thing because I knew how like the general idea of what I wanted everything to look like,
Yeah,
and then I had to have another artist come in to do the stuff.
to make it look
Yeah,
better. Yeah,
because
no,
I am a mediocre artist at best.
yeah, no, it's the same thing for the little logo that I have for my YouTube channel and
Mm.
the Twitch. Where my buddy was just like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Just use this." And they're like, "Okay."
Well, see, logos and layouts I can do no problem
Yeah,
because I do graphic art. I just illustration, completely different beast.
yeah, man, I can't even do that. Like I'm lucky that I know how to like edit, and then
Yeah,
that's about it. Because that I went to
yeah.
school to learn how to like edit and mix sound.
My friend Blades in chat, he says, "Fuck yeah, I enjoy this guy and you, bruh."
Hell yeah, I like being enjoyed.
Mm.
Dude, did I show you what I got in the mail? Or not in the
No.
mail? A buddy of mine got it for me as a gift, and I was like, hell yeah! It's like all of the fucking Justice League.
Oh, nice. I really don't like the pop stuff because I hate their design, but I end up with more of them anyway.
Dude, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like I got them all as gifts,
Yeah,
right?
like I got one right here because my
Like
friend had extra.
I
And
like
it
them enough
is
as gifts, but like baby metal, dude, Ryu, I
it's a
love that 8-beat
pixel
Ryu.
video, yeah.
That's really badass looking.
It also came with like a little like lanyard and keychain thing
Oh, that's awesome.
and socks,
I got,
which I like a lot more because who doesn't need socks?
dude, I always love socks. You know that age when you were a kid and you were all like, "Fuck you, mom. I don't want clothes." And now I'm just like, "What do you want me? What do you want for your birthday? I don't know, man. Will you pay a bill or give me some clothes? I'll take either
See,
one."
everybody says that, but I think because I grew up super poor, I never had that. I was always happy to get clothes.
Yeah. See, I, uh, I was the kid that like would sit there and I'd be like, "Nah, man, I want an Xbox game or something like this." And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, "You're giving me clothes? Hell yeah, clothes!" Honestly, I flipped out the one time when I moved into my apartment, and my recent apartment. My great aunt was like, "As a welcoming gift, I'm gonna stock your fridge," and I'm like, "You are the best person I've ever met in my entire life."
Yeah.
Like a fully stocked fridge, like the things that change when you're an adult versus when you're a kid is just crazy.
See, a lot of that stuff hasn't changed for me, but I think it's because like I pretty much had to grow up in like that weird middle ground of doing adult stuff while being a kid.
Yeah,
Like a lot of times I had to watch after my brothers and stuff like that, so
yeah. No, I grew up as an only child until I was 9. So
yeah, see, I have a lot of friends who are in that circumstance.
yeah, and then
Or they're in the opposite where they had an older sibling who was like several years older than them and then they came around.
yeah, The youngest sibling I have is 2.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm 2 and 3 years apart from my brother, so
Yeah.
we all grew up in that tight time frame of the 90s.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I feel old because my sister's graduating high school and she's going to the same high school I went to. So I went to one of her senior night volleyball game, and I'm just sitting here walking around the school like, Jesus Christ, like what?
Yeah, I think the youngest person I knew that was still going to the same school that I went to just graduated.
Yeah.
And it was like, yay, I don't have absolutely any reason to go back to that hellhole.
Well, now I don't.
Oh.
But it was cool though because I still like walked around and like knew like everything around it. Like she had a banquet and they locked us outside of the school. Like they kept us in this like little gym area.
Yeah.
I wanted to get myself like something from the soda machine, but I didn't want to use the student soda machine because they gave you like healthy sodas or like tiny ass cans or like really crappy like
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I snuck into the teacher's lounge where I knew the 20-ounce bottles of sodas were and the good snack foods like the honey buns and all that other good stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, and I just walked back and my sister's like, "What vending machine did you get that from?" And I'm like, "Teacher's lounge." Because back when I was in theater, that was the place where I always used to go during shows. Was just walked out to the teacher's lounge.
Yeah, see, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember because I went to 2 different high schools.
Yeah.
Because I went to a different one for my senior year.
Uh-huh.
The main one I went to, all their vending machine had, and it was the full-size cans, but they were like a bunch of different flavors of vitamin water and then Diet Coke. So then like all of us started drinking Diet Coke because at least it wasn't vitamin water.
I think like the most unhealthy soda they had was like Dr. Pepper 10.
Mm.
Like the 10 flavor.
That's a lot better than Diet Coke.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I just want actual Dr. Pepper.
And Diet Coke leaves like a burn.
Oh God, yeah.
Too. So we would have like contests to see who could chug theirs down the fastest.
That's like the worst thing ever. Honestly, the best diet soda I think is Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly think so.
I think before Dr. Pepper 10, Pepsi Zero was probably it.
Oh,
but then the Dr. Pepper 10 just killed it. There was no comparison.
Oh yeah, Dr. Pepper 10 is pretty good. It's not like I would still rather.
I don't drink diets.
Dr. Pepper is like the best soda in the world. The last time I went up to New York, it was like trying to find like ice in hell.
Yeah.
And I remember finding one of the grocery stores that was by my dad's house. There was one grocery store that had Dr. Pepper, and I bought every one of them.
Mm.
And for like a month, my dad was like, "Yeah, they're still here." I'm like, "Dad, just drink them. I'm already in Texas. Like, what do you want me to do? Ship them down to me?" He's like, "I'm half tempted." Like, no, just drink them.
See, I don't have that problem because I like Dr. Pepper. For me, it's a great alternative. But my favorite one is super popular up north, so I never have problems finding Pepsi. In fact, that's usually how you know if a pizzeria actually had people who came from up north, because they serve Pepsi as their option.
Dude, and I'm really upset. My work is getting rid of all of the Pepsi products. It's all Coke. So I'm sitting there like watching my like Gatorade go away and being replaced with like Mountain Blue Powerade, and I was just like, but why not Fruit Punch?
Yeah. And the best part about Pepsi is Mountain Dew comes with it.
Yeah, we're getting rid of Mountain Dew. We're replacing it with Sprite.
Oh, it's not the same. Like, I like Sprite.
I love
the same drink. It's not like Mountain Lightning is the same as Mountain Dew and stuff. But
the only thing I'm excited about with the replacing Coke with Pepsi or Pepsi products with Coke is, replacing the Pepsi products with the Coke is we're getting rid of our shitty sugar-free lemonade from Tropicana.
Yeah, and then you get the Minute Maid
from Minute Maid, and I was like, fuck yeah, no more shitty fucking sugar-free lemonade.
Oh, a cat.
Oh, a cat? So, did my cat in the background?
I don't know, I guess.
I think someone saw my cat. Probably.
High school was super lame until senior year for me when I started like LARPing. See, with me, I had the opposite. I stopped LARPing when I hit senior year.
I actually have never done an actual LARP.
Yeah, for the longest time, like I've done some main like big ones, but for the most part, I just kind of ran private stuff. I had my own small community with their own set of rules and everything for a long time. I was always the coordinator for that stuff.
Nice. I've wanted to for the longest time get a group of people and get a bunch of like Nerf swords and Nerf bow and arrows and just throw it in the middle of a field and have like a Hunger Games with Nerf weapons.
I would destroy all of you.
Right? Like that just sounds fun, and not even like paintball, because paintball's fun, right? But I think just like a Nerf Hunger Games with like swords and bows and arrows, and like fucking hiding in places.
Speaking of LARPing, Mickey joined the video call.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Greetings
And salutations.
We were just talking about one of your favorite subjects.
Oh, what's that?
Live action role playing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because Blade is in the chat, in the live chat. And he's like, high school is super lame until senior year when I started LARPing, which is about when I stopped LARPing up until college when we tried to start something.
Tried. Succeeded. No, just kidding. We failed.
No, actually, we were succeeding pretty well until you decided to abandon it for a more popular organization.
Yep, that is true. No shame.
No shame in my betrayal.
Mickey here was the co-creator, and we had like what on our registry at like 50 people at one point in time.
That's badass.
Yeah,
we had a newsletter.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and everything.
That's really badass. The only thing that I've ever like in high school started was like the gaming, or like ran was the gaming club my senior year. And the group of kids that were in my gaming club were like, all they wanted to do was play Smash Brothers, to the point where I lied and said that my Wii was broken, so I didn't have to play it anymore. I was like, guys, this is gaming club. Like gaming club, I'm bringing my Sega Genesis, like Sega Dreamcast, like all these awesome classic consoles, and like modern video games and all this shit. And like all they want to do is play Smash Brothers.
That's all we play over at my place.
Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I love Smash Brothers, but like this isn't Smash Brothers Club. This is Gaming Club.
We even got Mickey when he was staying with me and my brother for a while, playing Smash Brothers, because it's like that's all anybody was playing. So it was either play that or don't play anything.
Yeah, I had to get good because I was not, and I still am not. So
I'm decent. At SGC, we had a Smash Brothers tournament in my hotel room.
Yeah,
I got in second place. I was salt.
Over at my place, we were all like super competitive.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever gotten competitive in is Mario Party. I'll say it's hurtful.
Oh my god, I hate Mario Party because it's like I only played the first one, the very first one with some friends of mine, and by the end of it, I wanted to kill everyone in the whole room.
Yeah,
that was playing it. Just like, oh.
You want to kill them before the console gets turned off, and then you're fucking done. You're like, I love you guys.
Last time I played was Mario Party 4, because that was the only one we could get running, and it's the latest one I'm willing to play because it still has bumper balls in it.
Oh, dude, I love
because 4 for the GameCube was still very much like the ones for the 64. And it was during Toomey Mania number 25 when he was in town, and I won.
Dude, I like, which one was the one with the sun and moon? I think that's 6. Mario Party 6.
I think it's 6.
I think that's the last one I actually liked.
Because you can 6 or 7,
and you can buy like 10 fucking stars and piss off someone. What is that? You just bought like 10 stars for 5 coins each, and you're just like.
Yeah, but because of that, they let the ratio of how many stars you could steal from somebody go up too. So everything is just like madness back and forth.
Yeah, and that's what I love, is because you just get like this like ultimate like cursing and anger and.
See, I've decided that my tabletop RPG is going to be the Mario Party of tabletop RPGs.
Yes.
With just the amount of chaos that's going to be in it.
Yes. I'm bringing some Mario Party up to the convention that I'm going to in Missouri. I feel like I can get some hateful things going on. That or some Mario Kart. Mario Kart is also competitive for me.
See, the problem is that Mario Kart's competitive for me.
Yeah, I can.
That's the real problem.
I can say some really mean things.
Like I'm really standard of like I only play on 150cc.
Dude, I'm fine. 150 or 200.
I did not like the 200 because I had not played it enough to
That's
get
what I'm
a
saying.
hold of what I was supposed to be doing.
I'm willing to do 200. I like to play 150. And
in fact, Mickey had to suffer too because when we were playing with Jacob, I was like really picky about the rules that we would play with.
Oh god.
What was that? Was that 8 that we played?
Yeah, we were playing 8.
Okay, yeah. We've actually been playing that a little bit more often, and I'm getting kind of good at it. So the whole drifting mechanic is like so. I don't know. I'm used to playing
necessary for winning
on the N64 controller. So with the original game, so or not the original, the N64.
I have so many people who are like, yeah, I just don't drift, and like, well, that explains why I beat you every single time.
Yeah, you have to drift. It's man, I hate it.
Mario Kart 8 on the Switch or Wii?
On the Wii.
See, I need to get it for the Switch.
Yeah, that's how I drove 9 hours in Missouri. It was 9 hours of Mario Kart. It was great.
But like, I used to play super competitively back on Mario Kart DS.
Oh, dude, the DS version was great.
And I would just snake the entire time, back and forth on the track.
I liked Mario Kart DS. The one that I played the least was on the 3DS and GBA.
I really like 7. I just don't like it as much as the DS one.
I honestly, and I get a lot of hate for it down here, but the Wii version I loved. Mario Kart Wii.
I have a very bad experience with that game.
Yeah, I love that game. I love the bikes. I love playing with my nunchuck and Wiimote, and I love just fucking drifting.
Yeah, you can join the voice. That's why I put the link up for anybody.
Of the Switch, the Game of the Year was just announced.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
Good.
Got it.
Good. Well deserved.
So, yeah.
I saw how
was on there as well, which is kind of funny because it's not even a full game yet.
Yeah, you know, screw PUBG when you have Fortnite. It's just a better option.
It's free.
It's the little Tykes version of PUBG.
Well, except it plays smoother and has more options.
and it is a lot more fun too.
Yeah.
I will admit, I have played it.
Fortnite is the best game ever. Well, not the best game ever, but it's great.
No, Super Mario Brothers 3 is the best game ever. Everybody knows this. There's no argument.
I like Super Mario World more than 3.
Well, then it's fighting words, man.
I grew up, though, not with an NES. I grew up with a Genesis and then an SNES. So.
See, we had an NES already because my parents had it.
And I never owned a Mario game on the SNES until like 2000s. The SNES games that I've owned were like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game. I had Turtles in Time. I had Scooby-Doo and Donkey Kong Countries.
Scooby-Doo.
Dude, I actually remember the Scooby-Doo game for the SNES.
Yeah.
That game, as a kid, was really hard to figure out what the fuck you were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I never played it until I was an adult.
Because that's one of because we used to go to Blockbuster. You know, everybody remembers the Blockbuster days. You'd go out. This is the game you're stuck with for the fucking weekend if you get it on Friday because they won't be open again until Monday. And one of the times we were stuck with Scooby-Doo, and it took us all weekend, and we still couldn't figure out what the fuck we were supposed to be doing. And I think we were like, I was 5, and my only other brother who could play video games at the time was like 3.
Yeah. Did you rent the systems too?
No, we owned the systems.
Yeah, I was gonna say I grew up with the Genesis, and I used to rent the SNES from Blockbuster before I bought it.
You know, no, both my parents were gamers back then.
Okay.
My mom still is, but my dad he only likes the old school stuff.
Yeah. Your mom?
They would always get my mom still plays.
Like modern stuff?
Yeah, she's playing. She played through Breath of the Wild. She's gonna be playing Odyssey when my brother's done with it.
That is awesome. My grandmother and I used to play games together.
My mom sucks at games. So it's fun to watch her play. And she's gonna see this too, and I don't care. You suck at games. But at least now she's trying. She used to make us she would get to the boss, And after losing one, she'd pass it over like, here, beat the boss for me. And when you're a little kid, you're like, okay, I'll do it. But as I got older, it's like, no, if you don't beat the boss yourself, you're not going to get good enough to play the rest of the game.
You'll never learn.
Yeah. So then she'd move from me to the next brother who'd be willing to do it until he got to the same, down the chain. And now she's actually been playing the games through and she can beat the games again. It's like, well, yeah, because you've been playing them all the way through.
Exactly. It's like, get the ass whooping you deserve and get good.
That's how I got good at fighting games. I would just like hang out at the Minyards down the street, and they had like Third Strike and Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. And I would just lose against people nonstop until I started winning.
I got good at SGC getting my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
By Chad. Just over and over and over and over again. It's not fun. I still can't win.
I had a similar experience, except from like the Chad side of thing. I was over on the Soul Calibur 2 machine, and I went like 13 games in a row and then got bored and left.
Against Chad?
No, against somebody else. But it was just like I had that similar experience. Like other people just kept coming along, and I won for like 13 games in a row, and then I just got bored and left. I am too good at Soul Calibur, which is why I'm super happy to hear that 6 just got it out.
I was about to say 6. I wonder if they're gonna do a cameo character.
They usually do.
I'm
wondering who it would be.
That's what I'm curious about. If it's like console exclusive, or it's just gonna be an all around like game character.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey had experience. We used to play Soul Calibur all the fucking time at college.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah, and I still hate that game. I don't like fighting games because I am not very good at them.
Yeah, well, this
only
Smash
game
better.
I'm okay at is Super Smash Bros. Just because you can button mash
There's a
everything
lot of people
and
too.
do something good.
It's not just the one-on-one. You can have like up to 4 or now 8 people. So it's like, okay, maybe I can survive to the one-on-one at the end or something, and then I'll feel good.
You just camp off to the side and smash until everyone else is done fighting each other, and then join in.
That is the correct strategy.
Yeah. That's why he switched from Pac-Man to Diddy Kong.
Oh, how you survive.
I play Link.
I'm a dirty Cloud main.
Dirty Cloud main? Hey, there's nothing wrong with Cloud. He's just dirty.
And S tier, so.
Yeah. I'm Link. And then, what's the other? Link. I like Bayonetta. Corrin.
I like Bayonetta too. I hate Corrin. I play Corrin where I don't want to have to try because Corrin is just too powerful.
I love Corrin so much. And then, but like Link and Marth.
Corrin's really easy to outplay on the 1v1.
Yeah.
Because Corrin's kit is actually not that good. The only problem is that everything is just super overpowered in the kit. So when you're playing like a multi-man, Corrin just lets you get free kills.
Yeah.
Especially the scaling on that counter. You just jump at people and counter.
That counter that hits you from all sides and not just the front.
Yeah, like, and the counter's so powerful that it scales off of both people's percentages or whatever. So they can be at like 0%, and you can be at like 160, and then you can still kill them in one shot just from the counter.
And that's great.
It's not great.
Marth would be my second main though. Like it'd be Link and then Marth. Or Roy. They're basically the same.
Roy's our boy. Except they're not. They used to be basically the same, but Roy plays like radically differently now.
I mean, it's still similar enough to where I can do it.
Yeah, it's similar enough that you could switch between the two, but it's not like Marth and Lucina where they're considered like the same tier placement.
Yeah, except for Lucina's just a tiny bit faster and weaker.
Well, no, she's actually stronger overall because her blade doesn't have a sweet spot, so the whole blade hits harder. Okay. But Marth has the tippers, so if you hit him with just the tip, you will hit way harder than Lucina can.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Dude, my cat's been needy as shit.
Yeah.
Like
it's been a little bit, so I'm going to plug my Kickstarter again because that is the title of this stream. Shooting the shit, but I really need to promote this Kickstarter too stream.
Kickstarter.
Yeah. It's called The Outstanding Jackrabbit #1, and it is the first comic in a line of comics. And if I get published, basically it's going to be self-published, but if we get the whole goal, then it'll also set up a website where the comic can be bought. And then based on the leftover money and the funding from buying the comics from there on out, we'll just afford to keep making things through the general capitalistic process instead of jumping from Kickstarter to Kickstarter. So if you have any spare money, you don't even have to have enough to back a spot if you don't want to, just, $5 would do. Or if you can't help monetarily, just share. Sharing helps boost the reach where you might find somebody who does want to back it.
Sharing is caring.
Okay, we can go back to conversation.
Speaking of sharing, remember that old commercial with the whale that sharing is caring?
I don't think I do.
It's this orange whale. It was for a gum commercial, and he ends up just like stealing instead of sharing. It's great.
Oh, Mickey died.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Oh no. Do we hold a few?
No, he has a shitty wireless card, so he might be back in at some point.
Wait, is he using like his computer has a shitty card? Or?
Yeah, like his desktop has a shitty wireless card, and he is in the garage of where he is. So
you need to hardwire that shit. Nah, I use the wireless card on my Mac.
Mac. My condolences.
Yeah, I know, man. Hey, but for a free computer, dude.
Yeah, dude. Both the computers I have right now were given to me for free, so I can't really complain about anything.
I've got this computer, but I need to like look at what parts I can salvage and what parts I have to upgrade before I do anything buying wise on it. Right now, so far, the only thing that I know I can salvage and save is the case and the power supply. And then I'd have to upgrade. I know for sure the graphics card. Because this computer was built in like 2014.
Oh, that's not that old. One of my computers that I have, my friend Steven sent me, is like, I think 4 years old. So probably like a year older than that. And I can play League of Legends on it. That's like the only game I can play.
Oh, yeah.
Because it lets you play on a toaster.
Yeah.
But I have to play it at like 15 frames per second.
Oh, shit.
No, that's fine. Because I still play at like the platinum level at 15 frames per second. So
are you serious?
Yeah. I've been playing the game since like season 1, so I just have so much experience that I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do.
Just do it.
And then I'll just pick a champion where all I have to do is right click. And just go straight off of like good positioning and build order.
I think with this computer that I have now, I can easily probably run anything that I own on Steam, which is Team Fortress and all that fun stuff.
Well, the one that I'm actually streaming from right now, could play like half my Steam library.
Yeah.
But it has a problem with the mouse.
With the mouse?
Yes.
What's wrong with
the weirdest problem. Whenever I move the mouse, it doesn't matter which mouse, which means it's a problem with the encoding or something. And I've tried rebooting, like reinstalling the BIOS. I've tried the drivers, everything, which means it's a hardware problem with the encoding. So something needs to be replaced. If I move the mouse every like few seconds of the mouse moving, the processor will skip a beat with its clock. So the whole screen will just freeze up for a second. And then the mouse will continue on the path. So if I'm like in Photoshop and I'm drawing a line, it'll still continue the line as if what it was going to do. But I tried playing a game on it like League that would run on a toaster. And I could not do anything. Like it was just unplayable.
Dude, that's horrible.
Yeah.
This is what I use as a mouse right now. The Mac.
Oh, dude, I fucking hate the Mac mouse.
I at least I figured out how to left and right click. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I hate how Macs by default just have control click.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, that's not okay, Mac. We need to fix this. And then it took me, like, now I've gotten so used to doing like Command C and Command V that when I go to work on the Windows computer, I end up hitting Alt. I've gotten so used to it. It's
back in college for the 1 year that I actually went to college.
Yeah.
We had to work on Macs in one of my classes. So I just brought my own mouse around and plugged it in because the Macs natively would allow you to right click if it recognized a mouse that had both buttons on it.
Yeah. I mean, like this one has a right click.
Oh, yeah? Are the newer ones actually allowing you to natively right click?
Yeah, like I can natively right click. There's just no thing. So you just have to like tap the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, they still had like the uniclick when I was doing it. So you had to command click no matter what.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
So that's why I would bring my own mouse around for that class and just use that instead.
Yeah, see, like you'd have to go into just your system preferences, and it should give you the option to just switch it. Yeah. But when I first got it, it was on command click, and I was like, no, what is wrong with you, Mac? This is not okay.
There's so many things that are not okay with Apple.
Oh, dude, I have stories about Apple. I'm paying monthly for my phone, right? I did that Apple Apple thing that they have where you pay monthly.
Oh, that's sorry to hear. He said this app is odd and I can't figure out how to join.
Hit the join button.
Yeah.
What I did.
I've never had problems with Hangouts, though I hear a lot of people do.
Yeah. But I went to Apple. I pay monthly, like $40 a month, I think, until my phone is, paid off. And then I should be able to, like, at the end of like 2 years, just go and be like, I don't want this anymore. Give me the new one. Well, they went and told me that my phone's not under warranty, and they made me pay another $150 to fix the screen. And I just looked and I was like, dude, I don't have that money.
Yeah, I can't relate because I try to stay away from Apple products as much as I can. You know what's the last Apple product I actually liked?
Huh.
Was the iPod Nano 4. That was the last Apple product I liked.
Dude, okay, so I had an iPhone for the longest time, and I still carried the iPod Classic because I felt the iPod Classic was a shit ton better than the iPod Touch or any iPhone or anything like that.
It is.
Because you pay what? Like, you can get one for like $100, and it had like
160 gigabytes of memory inside of it.
Yeah, and then you paid like the same price for like 64 gigs on an iPod Touch, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing, kids?
Wait, no, it was only 120, but still, that was like double of what you could get on the Touch.
And the only thing you needed it for was music, which you could.
Well, the screen could play videos too if you wanted to watch like a really low res movie.
Yeah, but like, why would you want to watch the movie on an iPod?
The long car rides, and that was the only option at the time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I've never used mine for video.
I used the Nano for video before. I had one movie on it, and it was for like if I was stuck in a vehicle for a long time, and it was The Princess Bride.
Dude, I hate that movie.
You hate that movie? Oh man, I love it. It was probably because I read the book before I watched the movie.
Okay, that makes sense then. I think half the reason why I hate it is because every girl I dated was obsessed with that movie and loved that movie. And so you watched it like constantly, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I hate this movie. I hate this movie. I can quote it like I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But I hate that movie. What's another movie? No, like one of my favorite movies. I love Scott Pilgrim. That's the movie.
Scott Pilgrim's great too.
Yeah, like that's the movie I could probably watch like so many times and not be sick of it.
I actually usually listen to the soundtrack too. I have like the whole thing.
The soundtrack is the best.
Especially Threshold. I really like the song Threshold.
Yes.
The best part of that movie is that the first song, We Are Sex Bomb, was actually ripped straight from the graphic novel, but it was recomposed by the same guy who did all the live music.
Yeah.
And that was by Beck.
Yeah. Beck made all the actual music.
On 8-track takes, they recorded it. So that got that high quality sound. Emphasis on high.
I want to get the speaking of like old soundtracks, I want to get the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack on cassette.
Yeah. See, I have Volume 1 on Google Play because when the movie came out, they were doing a promotion that if you got it during this week, you could get Volume 1 for free.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like that's a really good soundtrack too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
Like
oldies.
same thing with like Baby Driver. Baby Driver had a great soundtrack.
Still haven't seen that movie.
Dude.
Everybody told me to. It's like,
Baby
well, I mean, I don't have any money. If you want to take me to see it, or I'll just wait till it hits Netflix. That's it.
Or there are other means to go and watch this movie.
Well, there are other means, but it wasn't like something I was initially interested in myself, so I wasn't going to go out of my way to watch it. I had other things on my list that took priority.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
The last movie I saw was Coco.
I'm trying to think what the last movie I saw was. It's been a while since I've been in a movie theater. Was it an actual? It might have been at the Studio Movie Grill. I'm trying to think.
Studio.
I had to have seen something since Fantastic Beasts.
Star Wars?
Man, I just can't remember. Well, no, well,
Star Wars came out after, before Fantastic.
Rogue One?
Rogue One? Yeah, Rogue One.
Did that come after? Okay, well, if that came after, then I saw that one. So that was at a normal theater.
Yeah. Dude, I love
It's been so long since I see a movie, all this stuff just starts blurring.
Yeah. I prefer Alamo Drafthouse over Studio.
Too, but I wasn't the one paying.
So no, dude, if it was a free movie.
I saw Deadpool twice when it was out, and one of them was at the AMC, and then gonna go see it, but already paid for the tickets, and another person bailed on them. It's like, of course I'm gonna go to the Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah.
If you're offering.
Yeah.
It was my best movie experience that I've had. I love that place.
It's a great place. I love the fact just the pre-shows that they do aren't like the standard, like stupid trivia pre-shows.
Yeah.
It's just like things that are related to the movie, which tend to be like random YouTube clips.
I remember the last thing I saw in theaters now.
Okay.
It was during the Studio Ghibli Fest, and I went back and watched my favorite Ghibli movie in theaters, and it was Kiki's Delivery Service back in the end of the summer.
He's the one that also does like My Neighbor Totoro and all that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that was Miyazaki.
I'm going to get hate again for saying this. I don't like his movies. I appreciate his art, right? Like, I love his art style, but his movies always bore me. Like, the most entertainment I get out of it is I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this movie is so beautiful. So, like, I could stare at his art all fucking day. All day. But you try and sit me down in front of the movie, and I'm just like, I just want to look at the pictures. Like, you can put this on mute, and it'll have the same effect for me almost.
Well, I mean, it also depends on the movie, though, because he has, like, some wildly different movies. They're not all of them are the same, you know?
It's like the ones that I saw, Poyo, right? Ponyo?
Ponyo,
yeah. I've seen Ponyo.
Like a twist on the
yeah, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, that one, I liked the art, but I didn't care for that one too much.
My Neighbor Totoro, which I watched because everyone talks about it, and I was just like,
yeah, honestly, I like the movie, but I don't even think that's close to his best one.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm always down. Like, I'm always down to like watch his suggestions because I would love to find one I honestly like.
Probably, I think the one that's best for most audiences is probably Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. Have I seen that one? No, I gotta Google.
Because that's the one with the girl and her family end up in the spirit world, and her family gets turned into pigs, and she has to work at a bathhouse to try to free them.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually watched it.
Yeah, that's the one with No Face in it and stuff.
Yeah, okay, because I've seen the cosplay. Like, I recognize No Face's cosplay.
That movie is a quite faster paced.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a lot more going on in it than a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, like, see, his art is just amazing.
Princess Mononoke is a lot darker.
Yeah.
So that one's pretty fun to watch. I'm trying to think. What was the other good one? That's just like really, really out there that nobody watches.
Yeah, see, like, I love this art style too. Like, his art style, I just love it. He is a damn good artist. This could be a cool live action.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would want
I wouldn't mind. I mean, the problem is, like, there's a couple of them I wouldn't mind rewatching if they made it into live action. but his art style is really what does it for a lot of the movies. So I think like
that's what I'm saying. Like
be missing out.
Like you'd have to get really creative.
Mm-hmm. I remember he got his start in the animated films when he was licensed to work on Lupin the Third's movie.
Ah, Lupin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the animated movies that I love. Like I love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Like those kind of.
Did you? Okay, speaking of animated movies, did you watch Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell? No, I've tried to avoid it.
I actually loved it.
Is it good?
Yeah. Okay. So there's people that have mixed opinions, and some of them looked at it differently after I let them know. Because a lot of people went and watched it, didn't watch like the original 1995 Ghost in the Shell animated film.
Okay.
Right? They had only seen Standalone Complex.
Okay.
But this movie isn't Standalone Complex. It is a live-action remake of the original 1995 animated film.
Okay.
So with that in mind, it's like, well, the original film, great, animated wonder, but they had to use a lot of techniques at the time to cut budget.
Yeah.
So that's why there was like dark with flashing lights or narration over a guy walking for 5 minutes of exposition. And they took some of that same stuff, but they used modern techniques instead of making it like something to cut budget, but to actually make it look flashy and cool.
Yeah.
And the pacing is a little old school because of that, but it works.
Okay.
And then Scarlett Johansson basically plays a dead inside emotionless robot anyway, so she was perfect to cast for this role.
That's great. See, like I had no problem with the casting of Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I thought, I was like, you look like her. Okay.
Yeah, even most people in Japan would ask that same thing. It's like, yeah, she looks like the character.
Yeah. Like I feel like people just want to get butthurt over certain things.
They do, yeah.
Like I understand there's a lot of whitewashing going on, and like I feel like certain characters shouldn't be white if you can find someone that isn't.
Yeah.
But if it looks like them,
well, there was even like a point in the manga for people who've actually read it to where the Major's body that she had was supposed to be culturally and racially ambiguous because the whole point was separating yourself from the culture.
Exactly. And a lot of animes try and make it look more Western people.
Well, especially because they know that it's selling really well in the West right now.
Exactly. So like
that, and it, believe it or not, Japanese people find people with round eyes attractive. So making it look more Western actually appeals to the Japanese a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, you don't realize if you go to like, there's districts in Tokyo where as a white guy with round eyes, you could get laid very easily. And I am not shitting you. This is 100% true.
Time to plan a trip to Japan.
Yeah.
I would honestly though, I would love to see if you could see any movie anime that's not been made yet, live action, what would it be?
A live action version of any anime movie. Well, everybody wants a live action version of Akira. I just don't know if that would translate very well.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down to see it. They've been talking about it forever. Japan's tried it. The first time they did it, it just didn't do very well. But technology has progressed a lot. Endless Waltz, the Gundam Wing movie, would probably be pretty cool.
Oh my god, a Gundam live action movie would be the
yeah. I mean, Pacific Rim was great, so why not try it?
Exactly. Like right when you said Gundam, I was just like, oh my god, because Pacific Rim.
Yeah. I'm thinking. You know what? I'm gonna be cheesy for saying this because it's my favorite one, but I would love to see Ni Hao My Concubine, the Ranma 1/2 movie done in live action.
Ranma 1/2 would be awesome. I would watch a Ranma 1/2 movie.
I stalled, but I'm on my like eighth lap of that show.
My favorite anime is Fooly Cooly. I think it would translate to
Cooly. It's just so short that I could watch it like 100 times in the amount of time that I've seen Ranma.
Exactly. And I feel like, to me, Fooly Cooly would translate kind of well into a movie.
It would be hard because it's very cartoony, like the physics of it and stuff. And you could do it live action. It's just you wouldn't get like that artistic bend of the base as it's coming across and stuff like that.
Or you'd have to just get really creative with like camera angles and lighting and then a few CG effects.
You'd probably have to do it similarly to how Scott Pilgrim was filmed.
Yeah. It could be done.
But in many ways, Fooly Cooly and Scott Pilgrim aren't that different of
No. Yeah. No, they're not. Because I would just love, like, you can easily even just cut it to do the manga too.
Yeah.
Like freeze frame and then like, it would be so great. But it wouldn't be shitty. And I'd probably watch it either way.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Japanese or the live action Attack on Titan movies?
Oh, I'm not watching that. But I'm also not a fan of Attack on Titan.
I went to watch it with a friend of mine. Maddie, you know Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
I went to watch it with Maddie, the part 1, and she's like, "Do you want to go see part 2?" And I'm like, "Nah, part 1 sucked dick. I don't even want to watch."
It's funny too. So, looking at the name of it, I thought the story was going to be completely different than it is, because the way the American translation puts it, it seems like the name of the place is Titan, like it's Saturn's moon or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's an attack on it, but the actual, like, the connecting word is no, which is basically of in Japanese. So it really translates assault of the Titans, which makes a hell of a lot more sense
than Attack on Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to call it Attack on Mainstream.
My problem is I don't like most mainstream anime. Like, and I think it's more now because I used to like mainstream anime.
Yeah.
Way back, like the 80s stuff that was mainstream. I think the taste of most people have changed, and I don't like the current tastes.
See, I can watch the last, like, the anime that I watched was anything that aired in Toonami.
Yeah.
So, like, I would watch Zoids.
Oh man, I remember Zoids.
Yeah. Gundam, Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop. I'm trying to think of everything that aired on that. So, like, if it was,
I fucking love Sailor Moon.
Oh shit, dude, Sailor Moon. I was talking to there was one of my Uber drivers. I noticed he had like a Sailor Moon, one of those, you get one of the plastics and you melt it with an iron.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Sailor Mercury, if I remember right.
Well,
he had it.
Sailor Jupiter is Bay, so
Sailor Jupiter Bay. Yeah. But he had Mercury hanging off of his windshield, his back mirror. And so we were talking, and I was like, dude, any guy that said he's never watched Sailor Moon is a fucking liar. Because I forgot who it was, but it was one of the conventions that I was hanging out with a buddy, and we were drinking. And we were talking about Sailor Moon, and he's like, I don't watch Sailor Moon. That show is for girls. It's gay. And I was like, fighting evil by moonlight. And we were just singing the theme song. And by the end, he's joining with us. And I was like, you fucking liar. You've watched it. Sailor Moon is about as badass as Powerpuff Girls to me.
Yeah. Dude, and also Sailor Moon herself is overpowered as fuck.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, you want to talk about a death battle? She would win a death battle against almost anybody you would put her up against.
Sailor Moon versus Goku.
Oh, it's Dumpster.
Sailor Moon versus Superman?
Dumpster.
Dumpster?
Okay, Sailor Moon is at the multiversal level of destruction. And has literally infinite energy because of the silver crystal.
Yeah.
No, it's not fair. At one point in time when she's fighting the Cosmic Queen or whatever, that bad guy, they literally are fighting at faster than light speeds across the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah.
It's like she would dumpster almost anybody you'd put her up against.
We were watching all the Sailor Moon transformations in my hotel room on SGC 2015. Like, just all of us, just the all transformations, every last one. And then when we finished the original transformations, we watched Sailor Moon Crystal. Is that the new series?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched Sailor Moon Crystal.
Basically the abridged series, because each season is slightly shorter and it cuts out a lot of the weird stuff that made the show really good.
Yeah, I've never actually watched Crystal.
See, I watched
seen, like, so Crystal's essentially the Dragon Ball Kai of Sailor Moon.
It is effectively the same thing, except instead of taking the original and cutting it into that with just editing, it is completely redone from scratch with like computers and stuff, new voice acting and everything.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, except instead of changing the story to fit the manga more, they actually just, condense the story.
I love Full Metal Alchemist.
Like Kai. Yeah, I like both versions.
Brotherhood's good, and so is the original.
The thing I appreciate most about Brotherhood is they got like 90% of the original actors back for it.
Speaking of the original actors, Vic Mignogna's an asshole.
He is. Fuck him. I love his voice, but he seriously just gets paid to talk. He doesn't do a voice or anything.
Yeah.
And the dude's super preachy, thinks he runs everything, and deserved to get punched by Chris Sabat that one time that happened.
Oh my God. Yes. He's an awesome person.
Chris Sabat, yeah.
Yeah, him and Sean Schemmel. Both of them are cool. Did you talk to them at SGC?
Those are cool.
Did you get to talk to them at SGC?
Here and there.
I was going to say, the entire cast was there.
Yeah. The problem is they were busy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to them in the VIP room, and that's where I got to talk. They were cool people.
Most voice actors are cool. You just get that random dick like Vic.
Yeah. No, like I went to Sean Schemmel, and I talked to him, and I didn't even bring up Dragon Ball. I was like, can you do Ralph for me? He's like, what? I'm like, do Ralph from Ed, Edd and Eddy, please.
Ralph.
Yeah, I'll just be like, say I'm a son of a shepherd, and I'll be happy. He's like, no Kamehameha? I'm like, nah, man. Just say I'm the son of a shepherd. I was like,
you dare to smirch the son of a shepherd?
Yeah, I was the happiest person ever. Because like everyone could get him to do Kamehameha, and I knew that if I waited during a panel or something, I would
hear it anyway.
Yeah. Like, but who the fuck's gonna ask him about Ed, Edd and Eddy?
Dude, I love Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Right? I've noticed that like with a lot of shows today, kids' cartoons are just going downhill.
Yeah, it's because they don't respect the intelligence of the kids.
No, and I've noticed that. There was a few times, I may get shit for saying this, that Teen Titan Go has made me laugh.
See, the only time they've made me laugh is when they're self-aware of how bad they are.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, too, it's as, like, the whole Control Freak episode where they showed how bad they are compared to the old Teen Titans was because one of their head writers was on his way out, so he was like, fuck it.
That's great.
And that seems to be the only time that show's funny, when something like that's happening.
The self-aware shit's funny though, but like the Teen Titans Go versus Powerpuff Girls.
Dude, the new Powerpuff Girls is just
like
awful.
10 times levels of cringe.
Especially with like the weird third wave feminist stuff that randomly gets interjected into it.
Or the fact that one of the writers wrote himself in as a love interest for a 5-year-old girl.
Yeah. That was pretty awkward too. And the fact that they brought in a 4th Powerpuff Girl, but they didn't bring back fucking Bunny from the original series.
No, they brought back What's-Her-Face, and she only lasted the 1 episode for the movie too.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was like, are you going to watch it? You going to tune in? I'm like, no, not even going to last. And you know what? I was right. She was gone at the end of the episode. You think they're going to bring her back? No.
Well, I mean, one of the problems, too, is you have to look at the network as it is now compared to as it is back then. One of the biggest writers they had at the network back in the 90s was Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wrote like 1/3 of the Dexter's Laboratory episodes and like half of Johnny Bravo.
Dexter's Laboratory. Oh, he wrote Johnny Bravo?
He wrote like half of them, yeah. And you could, knowing Seth MacFarlane now, if you go back and watch, you can tell which episodes were Seth MacFarlane episodes.
Oh, no, I gotta
like Johnny Bravo, there was that one episode where they got the guy from Schoolhouse Rock in it, and it was pretty much a Schoolhouse Rock parody.
Mm-hmm.
And you could pretty much tell, like, most of the parody episodes were the episodes by Seth MacFarlane because he just likes parody. Or there's this one Dexter's Laboratory episode where they're going to a Star Trek convention, but instead of going to a Star Trek convention, they're dropped off at a Barbie convention. And they're like really into character, and like, we need a Solarium crystal or whatever to be able to get back to where we're going to power the ship. So they go up to this stand and they ask for a crystal, but it's actually like a Barbie. It's like, do you want it mint condition, not in box, or do you want it never removed from box? And they're like, oh, it'll be more protective. They never remove it from box. But then they hand it to their idiot friend. Is like, she needs to be freed. She's so cramped in there. So he opens it, and then everybody in the whole convention just starts chanting NRFB, NRFB. And then all of a sudden, Dexter has to get himself into like a Klingon style like war baton fight with the overweight cashier at the thing. And it's like, yes, this is definitely a Seth MacFarlane episode.
I've noticed that like when Seth MacFarlane, I feel like Seth MacFarlane wrote a better Star Trek series than the
modern Star Trek.
Yeah,
totally.
Oh my god, because the Orville is great, and you can tell he's actually a fan of Star Trek too.
I love it because I wasn't a huge fan of The Next Generation. There's some episodes I like, but the pacing and the character development over it, it's pretty flat. I tell people, it's like, if you don't like the first 5 episodes of Next Generation, you're not going to like the rest of the show.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, like, I'm not a Star Trek fan. I couldn't get into it. I appreciate it.
I really like Deep Space Nine.
Like, a lot of the stuff that I'm a fan of came from Star Trek.
Yeah.
So, like, I appreciate it. So, like, if I ever met, like if I ever, like, see, like, Patrick Stewart or, like, William Shatner or anything, like, I still flip out because it's them. But
what Orville has is it's got all of that, the good stuff from Next Generation, while actually, ramping up so there's actually progression through it, and the random casual sense of humor that Seth MacFarlane likes to throw in things.
Exactly. Open up this jar of pickles for me. I love that character. Yeah. I also love the all-male species.
Oh, yeah. Commander Bortus. It's a great character because it's like he's just so flat the whole time, but he ends up in goofy situations.
One of the greatest episodes was the one where he had a daughter and they had to go to court for it.
Well, see, that's what I like. And then Discovery doesn't understand this, and most modern things do. It's all about not being prescriptive when you do stuff like this.
Yeah.
They showed both sides of the story, and yes, it did end one way, but they never told you as an audience member how it should be. They were leaving it up to you to decide.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of modern media doesn't understand.
And what's funny is that, like, with how Family Guy has been recently, you forget that Seth MacFarlane can actually write.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was sitting there, I was watching the Orville, and I'm like, holy shit, he's a writer. like this guy.
I don't think he writes on Family Guy for the most part anymore. Like, he has a producer credit, but I think he's just been so far disconnected from it for quite a while.
Like the voices and all this other shit.
Yeah, he does the voices and stuff, but
it's which like, you can tell. Family Guy is just kind of.
And he's kind of been doing that. Like, Family Guy suffered for a while when he started American Dad. Then it suffered for a while again when he started the Cleveland Show, but then that didn't last, so they just readopted everything back into Family Guy.
Yeah.
Then it suffered for a while he was doing Ted. And it keeps going, like, up, but then back downhill while he's working on something else, because it's like, this is the moneymaker that gives me the consistent salary, but it's not the passion project.
Yeah. Where I feel like Orville is his passion project.
Oh, yeah, it's such a great show. I noticed, because I went on to IMDb, I didn't realize until looking that this was the last episode for the season. But it already has season 2, episode 1 on IMDb, so that excites me.
I was gonna say I'm really far behind on it. I think the last episode I remember watching was the one where they went on where there was a space station that was going into the sun, and that space station was a planet of people who weren't aware that
there was like a colony of people that had evolved past their awareness that they were a colony.
Yeah.
That was like halfway through.
Yeah, that was a great fucking episode.
Like, and you know who turned out to be their god? Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say Liam Neeson.
Man, he just plays God all the time, doesn't he?
He did. Well, because he is God.
Yeah. We haven't caught up to him yet.
No, we haven't. We need to get on the level of Liam Neeson. You know you're successful when you're Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in the Jackie Chan movie? The newest Jackie Chan movie? No, wait, who was it?
I don't think
that was James Bond, I think. Hold on, now I gotta see it. Have you seen that? The Passenger?
No, I have not. I need to. The last thing I saw from him was Skip Trace with him and Johnny Knoxville, which was a few years ago. And that was a funny movie.
Does he even do anything anymore?
Who, Johnny Knoxville?
Johnny Knoxville.
Apparently he ends up in a movie with Jackie Chan, so
I think, is it called The Passenger? Now I gotta look it up. Jackie Chan. That was such a good movie. Like, it makes you feel bad for him. Like, you're just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Dude, everything always makes me feel bad for Jackie Chan, because a lot of the humor of his movies are that self-deprecating thing of him getting hit all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Well, while he's gone, another plug for the fact that you should totally go and support my Kickstarter. If you cannot support it yourself with money, spread the word, because you might know somebody, whether you know it or not, that may want to support it. Not only does it help me get this project funded, but it will help push the path for multiple comics in the future, in a career path where I won't have to worry about money anymore. Yes, it is selfish, but you get a good product out of it. So, you know, capitalism. Support it. This has been a plugging of my shit.
Plug for his shit. Support. So
just as long as it's not a butt plug.
Or you know, you could sell it.
Or not.
That'd be going up to a thrift shop with a butt plug and just being like, "Hey, I'd like to sell this."
I don't think unless they had like sex-specific thrift stores. And then I don't think I'd ever want to walk into that place.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, we have this used butt plug. No, thank you.
But what if it was a 10,000-year-old used butt plug? Then it's an artifact worth putting on your shelf.
Is it though? Is it really though? Would you buy this butt plug?
I don't know, man. I think I could buy it just because they would underestimate the value of it and then resell it to a museum.
It could be a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
If you just hang it on.
Yes, this butt plug is from the Sumerian Empire.
This butt plug.
They had butt plugs back then? Like, everybody liked it. What do you think? Sex is new?
This butt plug was used by the Egyptian princess.
Fun fact, the Egyptian monarchical society did not have princesses.
Didn't they? No, it was a queen. It was a queen.
Well, they technically did not have kings or queens. They had pharaohs and regents.
Yeah, that's right.
And pharaoh was passed on biologically, and 6 of their pharaohs were women.
That's true.
At least. We could tell. They could have had more. I know 2 of those 6 were just regents overseeing until their child was old enough to take over himself, but a couple of them were actual full-blown just pharaohs.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And of them, the most overrated and worthless was Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Nefertiti was like 10 times as cool.
Wasn't she in Doctor Who? I think it was Nefertiti in Doctor Who.
I think so, yeah.
Doctor.
Which, if it was, kudos to them for picking the better, or one of the better female pharaohs.
Nefertiti?
Nefertiti was a total spaz from what we can tell, which is great. Like, she would throw parties for no reason.
Yeah, it was Nefertiti. Yeah, they did Nefertiti.
Yeah, Nefertiti would be the Egyptian Day era version of like a geek girl.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. She was really super into history, and she would always throw just like parties and invite people in for no reason. But during her era was also when Egypt was a big trade center, so that probably had a lot to do with it too.
I mean, if I was a trade center, I'd throw parties.
Yeah. Egypt was a trade center 4 or 5 different times throughout its like reign as a big empire. In fact, actually, 2 of those times wasn't even when it was its own empire. And it was during both the period during when the Greeks occupied and then a period later when Rome occupied. But it was just in such a convenient location to be a trade center.
Yep,
In fact, if I could go back in time to any single point, it would be Thebes during the Greek occupation, just so I could try all the different foods that no longer exist.
Oh my god, the foods.
Yeah.
Have you seen those old school, like, American, like, old recipe cookbooks?
No, I have not. But if I had one, I would just make everything that's in it and try it.
Like, it was, hold on, I gotta find it now. Like, vintage, weird foods that they used to make. See if you would try it. Like, there's some weird, like, tuna and jello pie. Ham and bananas. Hot dog fondue.
Okay, well, I mean, people already take wieners and put them on a stick and dip it in the fondue anyway.
Yeah.
And people have cheese dogs, so why not?
Like, I'll do a hot dog fondue. The perfection salad. What is that? That looks like Jello.
Wake up in the morning, just get an entire plate full of gelatin, and it's the breakfast of champions. You're good.
Lobster relish. Oh my god, it gives you the recipe.
Yeah. You know, for the longest time, only prisoners ate lobster.
Really?
Yeah. Because lobster is really a shit creature. They're like the cockroaches of the sea. But then one day people found out that they taste amazing with butter on them. The butter is really what sells lobster.
I mean, I could eat lobster without butter.
That's what sells it, though.
Yeah.
Only poor people and prisoners ate it for a long time because lobster are everywhere. There's no shortage of lobster in the sea.
I kind of wish that lobster wasn't so fancy.
Yeah, back to the days when poor people were the only people that ate it.
Because I would totally eat lobster all the time. And
you'd be able to afford it, too.
Yeah, I like crawfish. I could eat crawfish all day.
Mm-hmm.
All day.
But it is equivalent to basically eating cockroaches in the sea with how many lobster there are, and they eat their own shit and stuff. They're shit eaters.
But I couldn't eat a cockroach.
I could.
You could?
Yeah.
I could.
I've gone survival camping. I can eat grub.
I couldn't eat grub.
Some cases I like grub.
I would die. If I had to, like Matt, eat this. It's the only food that we have. What is that?
Here's the weird thing. Like, people think I'm really picky, right?
Uh-huh.
But I like just about 50% of all foods. It just turns out that some of the stuff that I really like are things that nobody else eats.
I'm not really picky. Like, I'm willing to try almost anything. The only thing
I'm willing to try it. But, you know, there's a 50-50 chance that I'll like it or not.
Yeah. The only thing I will never try are bugs. I can't do it. And that's just I just hate insects.
My dad won a June bug eating contest once.
Really?
By like a mile.
God damn, I can't do it. I can't.
He ate like 28 or something, and the next closest person was like 16.
Shit. He was just popping those things.
Yeah.
See, the weirdest things I could eat. Like, I love snail, escargot.
Yeah. I used to not be able to eat mollusks when I was younger. I was allergic to more things when I was younger. I outgrew most of them.
I can do oysters. I love oysters. I've eaten pig's feet, chicken feet. I've had heart. There's this Chinese place that's right by where I live that serves you like duck head on a plate.
See, I like duck. I don't like most birds. Like, if you put chicken in front of me, I'll eat it, but I probably will never order chicken myself.
Oh, see, I love chicken. I prefer duck though.
Yeah, I like duck. I can't stand turkey.
Oh, I love turkey.
I hate turkey.
I like turkey legs though.
You can give me pretty much any general relative of the bovine family and I'll eat it. You know, like lamb, venison, beef, whatever.
I love lamb.
Oh, lamb is my favorite. To me, that's like the highest quality meat you can get.
Lamb is delicious. I've never had rabbit. I want to try rabbit.
I like rabbit. I like squirrel. Squirrel's pretty good.
I would eat squirrel.
If you want rabbit, you want to go to Germany, right? Because they have this thing called the Flemish giant rabbit, which I want one as a pet, but they were originally bred to be bigger for cattle, and they're about the size of like a Labrador.
Dude.
Yeah, here actually, I'll share my screen and look it up. Let me find you a picture of a Flemish giant rabbit. You'll probably freak out.
Dude,
none of these.
I would eat a rabbit. I'd eat squirrel. I'd eat snake. Like, I want to go to a place where I can just try.
I've had snake.
I've never had snake.
Snake's alright.
I've never had squirrel. Never had rabbit.
Alligator's pretty good.
I love gator.
Frog's pretty good.
I love frog.
I almost didn't eat frog because somebody told me it tastes just like chicken, and that was like a turnoff to me.
But it doesn't. It doesn't though.
I know. That's why I ended up eating it, and it's like, it's actually better than chicken.
The best way I can try and say it is it tastes like a fishy chicken. If that makes sense.
Let me share my screen so you can see this motherfucker.
Like a fishy chicken. Kind of like how alligator tastes like a fishy steak.
Okay, we're going to get some screenception for a second.
Oh, shit.
Hey, no, go away.
Oh, shit. Woo!
Yeah.
It's the infinite abyss.
Where's the thing?
Hey, that's comic.
There we go.
My God. I want to cuddle the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah, so they bred them that big to use as cattle for the longest time. But they make great pets too.
I would cuddle the shit out of it. Oh my God. It is adorable.
Oh, okay. Let me stop this thing.
Dude, I love it. It just keeps going.
Yeah. Into the abyss.
But yeah, no, dude. Like I would go. That Bizarre Foods Anthony Bourdain. I would eat half the stuff he did. Like he had guinea pig. I'd eat guinea pig. Shit.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'll
eat most mammals.
What about dog?
Sure. Why not?
I'd try it to say I tried it, but you would probably have to tell me it's dog after I ate it.
See, I would never eat somebody's pet.
No,
but at the same time, it's like when you realize every dog you've probably seen in your life is the same species.
Yeah.
Because other than Canis lupus, the only other species of dogs are like 4 or 5 different like African wild dogs, like the jackal and the hyena and stuff. But every other dog, the wolf, every breed of dog you've seen, coyote, all that is just Canis lupus. They're the same species.
Yeah.
They're genetically as different as, say, you or I.
Yeah. I'd trying to think of other things I would try. Have you had a
bobcat?
Have you had what?
Bobcat.
I've never had bobcat. Where the fuck do you eat these things?
I know people.
Like squirrel. Like I want squirrel.
I've lived in Texas for a long time. You know people.
Dove. I've had dove.
I haven't had dove.
It's about the same as quail.
I mean, it's a pigeon.
Yeah.
It's literally all it is.
Yeah. Have you had quail?
No, I've not had quail.
It's a pain in the ass. It's too small. It's like chicken but small.
Well, it even took people a lot to get me to eat duck because duck isn't actually a fowl. So that was what really sold it. But because turkey and chicken are both fowls and the quail is also a fowl.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm not really big on fowls.
Oh my God, the best gumbo I've ever had duck in it. instead of chicken, and I literally ate like all of it. All of it.
See, I have to be careful with gumbo. Because I have a shellfish thing. A lot of people like to throw shellfish in gumbo. Like, I have to almost stay clear of jambalaya because there's only like 5 recipes in the existence of jambalaya that doesn't have shellfish in it.
That's a shame because like shellfish is some of my favorite kind of food.
And it's weird because it's not a normal shellfish allergy. Because like the normal allergy is like any type of shellfish, and this is an iodine allergy actually. Yeah. And that's like when you start to get the inflammation and choking and can't breathe or whatever. I don't get that. It's only specific shellfish. I think it's bottom feeders because of their diet, and that's what does it to me. And then I start to get like the symptoms of a heat stroke.
Oh shit, that's fun.
Yeah. So it's irritating to say the least, but it's not like it's the end of the world. I just don't want to deal with it.
I had a buddy of mine that was allergic to mushrooms, and you would catch him eating cream of mushroom soup. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, I love mushrooms. And I'm like,
that's one of the many allergies I outgrew. Like, I can eat mushrooms, no problem.
The only allergy I ever had, and I guess it's not really an allergy, but lactose intolerant.
That is technically an allergy, yeah. It's a histometic reaction.
Yeah, and I never, and I grew out of that. The only downside is I don't like milk.
See, I could just chug milk.
See, I can't do that. I the only time I'll ever eat milk is I love ice cream. I love milkshakes. And if you give me milk and cereal, I'll eat the cereal I'll eat the milk as long as there's cereal in the bowl.
Yeah.
But you won't like
my brother used to be like that. He would not eat cereal with milk at all for the longest time.
No, see, I love cereal and milk. I can eat dry cereal, but I prefer it with milk. But then the second that the cereal runs out, I will never touch the milk.
See, the weird thing is, like, I can't stand Raisin Bran.
Oh my god, I love Raisin Bran.
No, I can eat it dry. My favorite cookie type is oatmeal raisin cookies.
Yeah.
But I can't stand raisins in milk, so I'll never dip my cookies, and I can't eat Raisin Bran with the milk in it.
I love chocolate-covered raisins.
Yeah, Raisinets are pretty good.
Or I actually spent... I went to one of those, like rich fancy candy stores that are in the malls where you just go and you scoop the candy up.
Oh, like Candy World and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy was like, it's $15. And I had like this tiny ass bag of candy. And I was like, what the fuck? He's like, but if you scooped a pound of candy, you'd be able to, or a pound of more, it'd be $11. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to get more chocolate then.
Yeah, because it's like there are some things that are expensive for individual quantities, but then everything else is by the pound.
Yeah. So, no, but it was like $11 for a pound or more. So I just went in and walked out with like 4 pounds of candy for $11.
It's ridiculous.
And I was like, sucker. But I had like 2 pounds of like Raisinets and like, chocolate covered blueberries and like cherries. I think all I have left in one of the bags now is like toffee.
I used to have this really bad craving for gummy bears for the longest time.
Dude, gummy bears were crack.
I could just pop them like pills. Just.
Oh yeah. No, I had a friend of mine that he would always carry like a little like tray of gummy bears, and I'd go over to his house and we'd be playing video games, and I'd just be sitting there munching on the gummy bears, and then they'd be gone, and he'd be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Man, I told you, I have a problem. I have a fucking problem."
Yeah.
Like, I told you to keep these away from me, man, and you didn't listen.
I think I burnt myself out on them though. Like eventually. One time I had a 3-pound bag from Walmart that I just ate the whole thing in one sitting.
Oh, see, I couldn't do that. I'd get sick.
Shoot, I was sick yesterday, man. I think I got food poisoning from something.
Oh, what'd you eat?
Well, let's see. The window for food poisoning is like 2 to 4 days. So it was probably just an off double quarter pounder from McDonald's, because that's all I could think that would do it. Because occasionally you just end up with that one patty that's bad.
The last time I had food poisoning was that Saraku, Japan, balls.
Oh, Sarku? I love Sarku.
Yeah, I had it from them. I had beef and rice, and I guess the beef wasn't cooked fully, and it got me.
Yeah. See, and I usually don't have a problem with undercooked beef, but you just have to like really, really have faith in the place you're getting it from.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the mall fast food joint didn't wasn't the best place because I was sick for like a week.
Because if I'm at a nice steakhouse, I will order my steak blue rare.
Oh, dude, I eat rare. Not blue rare. I would try the blue rare, but I normally get rare because every time I order,
you got to be at a nice steakhouse with like a really good chef who knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, I would love to try blue rare, but every time I order rare, every steak place looks at me like I'm fucking weird, and I'm like, man, I want that bitch mooing.
Yeah, I want that cow swimming.
like I want that blood coming out every time I cut it. Like
if you go past medium, you burnt it. I'm sending it back.
Oh no, my mom. We went out to Outback Steakhouse for my birthday, right? She took us there, and my sister ordered hers medium rare, and I'm like, okay. Oh no, she ordered hers medium, and I was like, whatever. And my mom ordered hers medium well done or something like that. Not well done, like but in between medium and well done. And I looked at her and I was like, Mom, you need to take that steak back. And she's like, why? And I'm like, you're not allowed to eat here anymore. you just can't.
Like I'm just like sear it. That's it.
Yeah. Like I'd just be like, just cook it to where it's considered cooked.
I mean, that's how you have to eat lamb though. Like if you're gonna have lamb, it's seared.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anything past that and you've ruined the meat.
I've only had it broiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, you can. It depends on what the type of lamb. But if you're getting like a fine cut, like a steak from it, seared. If you're a rack of lamb, though, you can cook that for a while.
I've never had lamb steak. I've always had lamb shanks.
Yeah.
And that's always broiled, and it's at a Mediterranean place. Oh,
I always have to tell people because they think like all these European recipes, like old stuff, like okay, we'll put beef in. It's like no, it's an American recipe if you substitute beef. For the longest time, Europe only had lambs to eat until they started getting cows from like India and stuff like that.
And then we're like, we're going to kill your god.
Well, that's funny too, because this wasn't a problem for the longest time. That whole they don't eat cow is only maybe 400 years old.
Yeah.
Because cows were domesticated there. They come from the water buffalo that's native to southern China and northern India.
Yeah. Dude, I couldn't live without eating beef.
I could if I could substitute it cheaply for lamb.
Have you tried vegan food?
I have. It's something like some of the better recipes I can tolerate if I'm over at a friend's place.
Yeah.
But it's nothing I'd ever switch to.
Oh no. I could go to full veganism, but I could eat some of the stuff. Like I'm going to more vegan restaurants because I have friends of mine that are going vegan. And they won't eat at any places that don't have vegan food. And I'm like, fuck you guys, you're making my life difficult for me.
Yeah, like if I knew a bunch of vegan people are coming over, I'd find it like I'd cook vegan tacos or something for dinner for them just to be polite, but
yeah.
That'd be like the only time that week I'm eating that shit.
But I would never go to their house for Thanksgiving. Ever. No.
For Thanksgiving, brisket all the way.
Oh, brisket?
Yeah.
See, my family makes brisket for Christmas.
I'd be fine with that too. I'm just, again, like I told you, I'm not a fan of turkey. So and for a brisket, like, it's about the same price for a full brisket that it is for a turkey around the same time.
Yeah.
You get more meat out of it because more of the brisket is edible than the turkey because the turkey's got bones and everything.
Yeah.
It's also easier to cook the brisket than it is to cook the turkey because the turkey has a lot of prep time to it.
Yeah.
And it's just overall a better food.
Have you ever tried deep frying a turkey?
I've seen people deep fry a turkey. I'm not going to myself.
I've attempted.
See, right here, we're going to make sure we don't even bother to thaw the turkey before popping it in, and it's going to fly up like a Roman candle.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to deep fry turkey anymore. Because I was like, what do you want, kitty? Like, what do you want? What do you want from me?
I want your body heat.
I think that's the case because he's like been like really like needy, and every time I move, he just meows. Like, what do you want from me, cat? Cats are like the weirdest fucking pets, dude.
Yeah.
I want a dog, but you'll do.
Well, here's the thing for like dogs are more like people than cats are. Because
Yeah.
dogs are inherently social creatures.
Well, like my cat is more like a fucking dog. Like if you come over, he's basically like this.
Well, I mean, in general, most cats do like people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because evolution has benefited them to like people.
Yeah.
But dogs are more like people than cats are because dogs are inherently social creatures. They naturally pack up.
Yeah.
And because of that, they were easy to domesticate. We didn't domesticate cats. They domesticated themselves.
Yeah.
Because we built societies, and because we had a lot of leftover food, rats would come over and eat them. So then the things that cats naturally hunted, which are rodents and small animals, were in our society. So they started moving in them themselves. And they also benefited because our large buildings, they're natural predators to get to them, like big predatory birds and stuff. Right. So they found it was a benefit to incorporate themselves into human society. So, yeah, they kind of just domesticated themselves.
He's like, I blame the Egyptians.
For worshiping them like gods?
Yeah. They fucking spoiled them.
Yeah. It would have taken a bigger society like the Egyptian society for cats to domesticate themselves, ones that have like tall buildings they could hide under and lots of rodents they could eat.
Yeah.
Which is why they would have worshipped them like gods, because rodents spread disease, and so did having a lot of trash lying around. So, unknowing how disease spread, when the cats came in and ate most of the rodents, people started living longer. So they would have thought, oh my God, these cats are holy.
But really, cats are just assholes.
Yeah, but, you know, people are too, so.
Yeah.
We put up with each other.
Dude, this guy, he's just like not giving me. I fed you. Go eat.
But I want your body heat.
I think that's probably what it is. It's cold.
Yeah, and cats evolved in a subtropical climate. So they probably like warm days. That's why they like to go out and sunbathe and stuff.
Yeah, he's gotten to the point where if it's like really cold, he'll like gnaw at my blanket, and I'll just like lift it up, and he'll just crawl under.
Mm-hmm. I've had cats that do that.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey man, I'm cold. Can you like just let me in? That'd be great." And then when I try and like bring him in to like kind of cuddle, he's like, "No, no, 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 no.
I just want inside here where the heat is."
Yeah, it's like I just want this. I don't want to be near you. I just want this.
No, we used to have a cat that actually really liked to cuddle.
Yeah, this is the extent of cuddling for him. Is this? It's if I like, if I like try and like get him to actually like cuddle, he'll
just like get up and try to reposition.
Yeah, like he's doing now. Yeah, see.
No, Axel, who's dead now, would always try to get up like to my chest area when I'm sleeping. It's like, no, I don't want you there. So I'd have to pick him up and I'd have to put him like in the crease of my knees and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you can cuddle there. That is fine. I do not want you here.
See, I want him like right here where like my arm is, so then I can, you know, like pet him like that. Or like if you can go like in between the legs and that like area where it's like, you know, there's space.
My brother actually just lost both of his cats.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
To a dog.
Fucking dogs.
Yeah.
What did it do? Get to him or like it got?
Yeah, he was staying with a guy, and the door must have not been shut all the way. And while they were both out at Taco Bell, the dog got to them.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
He just came home and saw like 2 dead cats.
One dead cat and one dying cat.
That would kill the dog.
Yeah.
I guess the dog wasn't friendly to animals or something, or
no, we don't know. The theory is that maybe he and she and the other cat the younger one were playing, but then the dog being bigger just went a little too hard, and the other cat came in defensively, and then that started a fight.
Okay.
I think the other dog is like the dog's a Rottweiler, so.
No, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I had a Rottweiler.
The vast majority of cats would lose a fight to a Rottweiler.
Oh yeah.
I have a cat before that could probably kill a Rottweiler, but he's like an extreme exception to that.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
No, the Rottweiler we had passed away because she had a lot of health problems. Started with a bad hip. Right.
That actually, a lot of dogs as they get older, they get like a bad hip.
Well, she wasn't even that old. She was like a couple of years. Yeah. She was a great dog, though. Sweet little dog. She was a rescue. I think she was abused before we rescued her because she was very submissive. Very submissive. Like all she would do is just run up and like lick you, and then like turn her backside to you, like it's okay. Like just kind of like you're good, you're good.
All of our animals have been rescues.
They're best dogs. Or like best kind of animals are the rescue ones because they're like, nah, man, I appreciate you, man.
I'm not stuck in a cage anymore.
Yeah. My dog is a rescue. It's a blue heeler, and he's with my mom, but she won't let me have him because she likes him too much.
Yeah. We had a shepherd, black shepherd, for like 17 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he was. We put him down when I was like 11, so he was older than me at the time. Like he was there my entire life.
Yeah. The dog that I had for the longest time passed away. We got him. He was about a year older than I was, and he passed away my freshman year of high school. Yeah, it was a golden retriever. Good dog too. What do you want? I think when he goes, I'm gonna get a dog.
Yeah.
Not that I'm hoping that he does anytime soon, but
yeah. See, my problem too is I don't like the attachment.
Yeah.
So I don't like the idea of having pets myself. I love going and hanging out with other people's pets and stuff like that.
No, like that's the thing. Like that's the thing is like once they go, you're like shit.
Yeah, and I really don't get attached to most of them. Like the only 2 animals I ever got attached to was that one that, was there my entire life, so it's hard not to get attached to.
Yeah,
he was in the family before I was, and then our cat Axel, who was, you can actually see him in a lot of the videos that we did at my old apartment.
Yeah,
pop up there, and that's because we were struggling so hard, and that cat was going through the struggle with us, so there was kind of like a brotherhood thing going on.
This guy.
But other than that, it's hard for me to attach to animals.
Yeah, no, this guy is my homie because my mom really didn't like him. We found him outside, and my mom didn't like him, so it was just kind of like me and this cat, just kind of digging it out. What do you want? Like, I try and give him attention, and then he doesn't want it. And then when I don't give him attention, he's like, it's the weirdest fucking cat ever, man. I'm telling you.
Dude, cats are just weird, period. Another problem is because they evolved as both prey and predator at the same time. So they deal with this weird anxiety that we just cannot understand. And that's why, like, the slightest twitch or noise will set a cat off.
That's the greatest thing ever is when they just jump for no random reason and they just fly and they're like, what the fuck, cat? It's almost 1 a.m. I have to go to bed at some point.
Yeah. All right. Whenever you're good.
Yeah. Fuck. Got a busy day tomorrow. And then I ended off with The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, I do need to see that because I've seen The Room.
It's a great movie.
Oh, if you say so.
Oh, come on. No, it's great in that like, what the fuck am I watching kind of way.
Yeah, it's better for like a communal experience than a solo thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch it by yourself, it's not the same as like watching it with a group.
And I know most of the shit that went on behind it, but
oh yeah, I heard that's some awful shit.
Even though a lot of people have used that as their justification, like, no, knowing that stuff, that still does not make me call it a great movie.
No, Tommy Wiseau, I hear, is an asshole.
Yeah,
I've met the guy, and by met, it was you had to buy one of his things to take a picture with him, and you take a picture with him, and then he does a Q&A, and then he's gone. My experience with Tommy Wiseau. So you know the Inwood Theater?
Yeah.
Okay. So they had a screening of The Room and one of his other movies at the Inwood Theater. And my buddy and I, we bought posters for The Room, and we had to sign it. And when we went to take the picture, the guy was directing us on where we should stand for this picture. He's like, no, and then you stand here, and then you stand here, and then we do this. And then every time he took a picture and he was about to smile, I kid you not, he does this. Like, he had to bite. Like, he opened his mouth, smiled, and bit down, and was like...
That's the only way he could form one.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is how humans take pictures.
This is how human takes pictures. Exactly.
Wiseau is not human.
And it's even more weird. Like, so... I asked him which one of his belts are the ones that's actually holding up his pants, because he was wearing like 6 fucking belts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the middle one, surprisingly. But he does a Q&A, and people asked him if he would throw the football around, and he threw the football around, and it was like, okay, cool, whatever. And so he did one Q&A, and then we watched the movie The Neighbors. And then he comes back for a second Q&A and to introduce The Room. And and everyone's like, you're going to watch The Room with Tommy Wiseau, right? Well, I've seen The Room thousands of times, right? So, like, I don't mind, getting up and going to the bathroom mid-movie for The Room and, missing a bit of it because you've seen it. So it was about, like, 10 minutes into the movie, right? And I was like, I have to pee. I haven't peed this whole time. So I got up and went to the restroom, and all of his shit was gone. Like, his little booth where he was selling his merch was just gone. The dude left. So he just went to introduce the movie and then just packed up his shit and left. And I'm just like, dude, this guy, what the fuck?
Like, he's like, I fulfilled my contractual obligation. I am gone.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this guy's a character. Like,
yeah, like, he doesn't just play a character, he is one in real life.
Yeah, like, everyone asked me, like, what is he like in person? And I'm like, man, do you watch The Room? Because, I mean, you know
it's the same guy right there.
Yeah, like, you know what you're gonna get into. You're either gonna like it, or you're just gonna be like, what the fuck did I just do? Like,
I did not hit her.
Yeah. Oh, man, I think I'm gonna end up going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, these are fun, though. I like
these. I try to do these often.
Do what?
I said I try to do these often.
Yeah, man. Hit me up whenever the next one is. I'll be down.
Yeah, and I'll probably just do a last plug.
Oh, yeah.
When you leave.
The last plug of the Kickstarter.
Yeah. For tonight. I seriously, I need to find more places to plug this thing.
Reddit?
I've already done Reddit. I need to find more subreddits that it would be okay for. Because I've done it for the comic book collab Reddit, which is where I got some of the people working on it. And the comic books Reddit. I don't really know too many other places that it would be. Oh, and the Kickstarter Reddit, obviously.
What about Tumblr?
I've posted on my Tumblr, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very
Facebook, Twitter. I've got all like the normal social media places.
I'm really iffy when it comes to like plugging the stuff that I'm working on Tumblr because of the crowd that tends to be on Tumblr.
See, normally, yeah, but the fact that unintentionally my book would probably be rather popular with the furry community, I think that would still be a,
Well, it's not even the furry community that I'm worried about. It's the ones that are over
the snowflakes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hate using that term because that term gets thrown on me. But
well, I mean, for the people that it does apply to, it's very accurate because they would melt just instantly.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And that's like that Tumblr where it's like the triggered. Are you assuming my gender? And I'm like, look, man, I'm not trying to offend you in any way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand your point of view. Just help me. Don't yell at me. Just help me understand.
The problem is most of them don't even understand their point of view.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So you can't even have a rational conversation. It's like if you want to come with a rational conversation about the stuff, I'll be glad to have it with anybody. But most of them don't even have a rationale behind it to be able to come with that conversation.
And I'm also the type of person that I'm not going to hate you because you're this, this, and this. So you got to give me a legit reason to fucking hate you.
Yeah, well, I don't hate anybody because of their ideas, just their actions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to come in front of me, take my cat, probably kick him off of a roof, and I'll probably hate you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what the fuck, man? Why'd you kick my cat? Like,
be like, oh, there's that scene from Anchorman where he like threw the burrito at Jack Black and he wiped out on the motorcycle. And it's like, that motorcycle was the only thing I love. What do you love? And he's like, well, some fine poetry, a glass of scotch, and Baxter here. It's like, well, now this is happening. And he picks up his dog and punts him right off of the San Francisco Bridge.
Yeah.
And then he just goes into a meltdown and is just crying in his house for a week.
Yeah, like that, I'd probably hate you. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Luckily, the dog survived because it's a movie.
Oh, yeah. No, dude, I love Anchorman. I'm not really a big fan of Will Smith, or not Will Smith. I'm sorry, Will Ferrell. But when Will Ferrell does something right, he does something right.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of him, but that's because I haven't seen a lot of things by him I don't like.
Go watch Daddy's Home too.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Or
what can go wrong? Look at the cast that's in it, but
I'm honestly not even a fan of Talladega Nights. I thought it was funny the first time I watched it, and then when I watched it again, I was like, this movie's stupid.
I really liked his remake of Land of the Lost. I thought that was pretty good.
I didn't like that either. I only saw it once, and I remember seeing it, and I remember nothing else. I just remember walking out of the movie going, that was a movie.
I mean, it was definitely better than the actual TV show it was based off of.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Their claymation dinosaurs and everything.
Let's see, what's another one?
I like Elf.
Oh, I love Elf. I fucking love Elf. Elf is a guilty pleasure of mine.
I liked his role in The Producers when he was the Nazi.
Oh God, The Producers is a good movie too.
Yeah.
I got in trouble. I was at the mall. What mall? Stonebriar. And there was Santa in the mall, and I screamed Santa like really fucking loud. Like, buddy,
I know him. I know him.
I know him. And who was it? Who was with me? I forgot which friend it was, but they grabbed me and yanked me away from the edge because we were on the second floor of the mall, looking down at the mall.
It's 30 after you, son.
Yeah, but they just yanked me away from the edge as all the parents were looking up at the second floor.
That's a way to start a riot. You're gonna get those kids too hyped up.
Oh God, yeah. Like any chance that I can find the quote Elf, I'll do it. Like the revolving doors, I've ran around them and just laughed.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's Christmas time, which means the Christmas playlists are acceptable this whole month.
See, because I have Christmas songs in my normal playlist, and I just put on shuffle because it's a huge couple hundred songs or so, and Christmas time I'll intentionally put on a Christmas station, but otherwise it's like I'm not skipping this song just because it's not Christmas time.
Honestly, I'll skip it.
No. I will listen to a Christmas song in July. It does not bother me.
I love Christmas music in December, and I'm that obnoxious person that I will play Christmas music all fucking December long.
Yeah.
But anytime before and after December, I'll just look at you like.
Somebody was looking at me weird because in June, it was just in my head, and I was singing "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas."
Have a holly jolly Christmas. Oh, if you were bringing up a Christmas song, I'd probably join in singing, but like I would never go out of my way to listen to it.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm really salty about it too. In November, because November is like Thanksgiving and my birthday, and I'm just sitting down, I'm like, fuck you guys, you're trying to skip my birthday.
See, I understand that. My birthday is in December.
Yeah. So you get overshadowed by Christmas.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that because I just like the holiday season. I don't like Thanksgiving for the most part, and that's probably just because of
the lack of turkey,
family life, and everything and stuff like that. And
yeah,
if I do Thanksgiving right, I'll probably like it. And I think I've grown past Halloween.
I love Halloween, but my version of Halloween is I think I'm at the age where if I were to do Halloween, I'd have the fun setting up the Halloween decorations in my house, giving out candy, and scaring the shit out of kids.
I'm Irish. Bring back the Feast of Samhain.
What's this Feast of Samhain?
That's what Halloween originally comes from. Samhain was the original holiday, and it was a mid-harvest feast. It was to like celebrate the harvest itself, which is pretty much what Thanksgiving is, but the Irish version of it, and that's where Halloween comes from.
Excuse for eating, I'm fine with.
Yeah, and it was a lot better foods too. You had like roasted potatoes and like all that like really classic Irish stuff.
I've never had haggis. I've never had haggis. It's
haggis is pretty good. That's
Scottish food.
Kind of. Well, it's both in North Irish because the Scottish and mostly northern and coastal part of Ireland, they're all Celtic. Even Welsh is kind of Celtic, but there's a lot of Saxon and Gaelic stuff that's ended up in there too. But Samhain is a Celtic holiday, so even the Celtic Scottish people would have celebrated it back then.
Got it. Yeah,
that's what and I want a masquerade. If I want to do it right, we're going to do a Feast of Samhain, and it's going to be a masquerade, and that's what it's going to be.
I would love the shit out of a masquerade. Masquerades are fun.
I would host the masquerade, but I'd come completely in disguise, and nobody would even know which person I am until the end.
See, masquerade. I would love a masquerade. I'd come as the Phantom of the Opera.
I wouldn't tell people I'm coming as. I'm a master of disguise. You won't know until midnight when we all, unshroud ourselves.
Turtle. The turtle.
Am I not turtly enough for the turtle club? Turtle.
That movie is the stupidest fucking movie I've ever seen.
But I love it.
Like
Dana Carvey is one of the most talented people to ever come off of SNL, and he's also like the most underrated.
Like I will never go out of the way and be like you'll never see me by myself be like, you know what? I want to watch Master of Disguise.
Oh no, I'll put that on by myself.
But you would see me be like, man, have you seen Master of Disguise? You have it? No, man, you got to see this. This is fucking stupid.
There's like a list of movies that I would just watch at any time, and that's on there.
I'm trying to think of one of my guilty pleasure movies that like no one likes. Three Ninjas.
I don't have.
Three Ninjas.
Oh yeah, I know you really like Three Ninjas.
I fucking love Three Ninjas.
That one that you sent me the link to, I still have on my watch later. I just still haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Dude, like I fucking love me some Three Ninjas. That is like.
I really like the movie Snow Day, the Nickelodeon Snow Day.
Oh my god, yes, with the
fucking Chevy Chase in it.
Yeah, and it had Josh Peck in it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was one of his earliest things.
Yeah, Snow Day's a good fucking movie too. I also loved Max Keeble's Big Move.
Yeah, which also had Josh Peck in it.
Mm-hmm. And Liar Liar. Or no, Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar. Liar Liar is a different movie.
Jim Carrey movie, which is a great movie as well.
I really like Big Fat Liar too with Frankie Muniz.
Pinky Muniz and Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm trying to think other guilty pleasure movies.
Well, see, Snow Day becomes, which again, I don't feel guilty for anything, so it's hard to call anything a guilty pleasure.
Like it's a guilty pleasure. Like if anyone is like, you actually like this movie, and I'll be like, fuck yeah, I like this movie.
Yeah, well, it's like one of my top 3 favorite songs comes from Snow Day.
Really?
And that's Another Dumb Blonde by Hoku.
Okay.
You know that song?
No, I gotta Google it now.
Okay, no, that's that. Everybody knows the song. They just don't know it by name because it was really popular due to Snow Day. And that's all right. That's okay. You never loved me anyway.
Okay,
but I think it's time for you to just move on.
Yeah, I know the song.
Dude, that song is just like stupid catchy, and I love it.
You know what song I have on my Spotify playlist? Do you ever watch Adventures of Pete and Pete?
I love the Adventures.
I have the theme song on my Spotify playlist.
Nice.
And it's in my 90s section, and it's fucking great. And I keep forgetting that it's on my playlist. But when I'm at work and I'll be sitting there and I'll have the headset in, and I'll be like working and cleaning, and I'll hear like dun 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 dun. Hey,
I've got so many random songs on my playlist. Like I have the entire soundtrack to the Digimon movie on my playlist.
Oh my god.
I have
guilty pleasure of mine too. The Digimon.
I have like We're All Dudes from Good Burger.
I'm a dude. Good Burger is a guilty pleasure movie.
Which actually, that's funny because there's a connection between that. We're All Dudes is done by Less Than Jake, which also had a song in the Digimon movie.
That's great. The only bad part of the Digimon movie, in my opinion,
is how Americanized they made it.
Well, besides that, I'm talking about Angela Anaconda.
No, actually, I was having a conversation with a friend about that, and I love that part.
You really love Angela Anaconda?
I actually like the show, and I think most people who cringe about that show cringe by a false nostalgia blindness because they just look at the animation style and they don't remember the show, because that show had some great comedy in it that was very underrated.
I couldn't do it.
Because it would parody the world through the mind of how children see the world.
I couldn't. Like, even when I was a kid, I didn't like the show. Like, I remember sitting there in the theaters for the Digimon movie, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is awful. Please end. It's kind of like how I felt watching Coco, and it was 30 minutes.
Thing. See, I'm over Frozen. Like, there's just too much Frozen. But I would have been happy. I loved how back in the 90s that you would probably get like full episode shorts before things.
I don't mind it. Just this was a full episode short of fucking Olaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember. Do you remember the movie Harriet the Spy?
Yes.
Okay, so if I went to go see that with my cousin. Well, I used to have it on VHS, but I went to go see it in theaters with my cousin and my aunt. And full, like 25-minute long, like the standard episode length without commercials. Pilot episode of Hey Arnold aired if you went to go watch it before Harriet the Spy. Yeah. That's how they plugged that show before it hit the TV. And that was like the coolest part of the whole movie. I don't even remember much of the movie itself, but I remember the Hey Arnold pilot that aired before it.
Harriet the Spy was in Eurotrip. The girl Michelle Trachtenberg?
Yeah.
I had a huge crush on her.
She was in a lot of things later on, and then she kind of just disappeared.
I had a huge crush on her as a kid. And then in Eurotrip too. And then I was like, oh hey. Yeah, Eurotrip. I was quoting that movie earlier.
Speaking of Hey Arnold, I need to see The Jungle.
Oh my god, is that out?
I think it's out in select theaters. I just don't know where to go to watch it.
Harry Potter or the Hey Arnold Jungle?
Hey Arnold, yeah.
Yeah. I need to see that too. It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, and it's got the original creator working on it and pretty much all the original voices.
I also hear they're bringing back Invader Zim as a movie.
As a TV movie, but I'll still watch it. It's got the original crew on it.
I want them to bring it back as a show.
Yeah, they tried that. And the network canceled them again.
No, I thought they just aired unaired episodes or something.
No, they had fresh made a season and a half, and then they got canceled budget.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It's such a great show. You know what another good show was that was really fucking great, but the fact that it aired on G4 is what killed it.
Which one? Like Code Monkeys?
Yeah.
Dude, I love Code Monkeys. On my terabyte hard drive, I've got both seasons of it.
It's so fucking good. Like, that was one of my favorite fucking shows. And I hate that fucking G4 canceled it. I'm like, G4, do you know when you had something good? Or did you...
Like, one of my favorite parts, me and my brother would just quote nonstop, is from the episode Todd Goes Crazy. Right?
Todd.
Right? And there's the Breakfast Club scene, and they walk in, and he's just like, Dad, get me a chicken Hot Pocket. No, Dad, get me a chicken Hot Pocket. Dad, does this look like a chicken Hot Pocket? Bang! And that was it.
What was the episode? They go on the quest to go and find the Declaration of Independence to go and fucking smoke it.
Yeah.
Or the fucking where Todd has his fucking doll collection. Like that crazy fucking I'm trying to remember, like space alien shit.
Yeah.
Or yeah, no, Todd thought he was being abducted by aliens. That was a great fucking show.
I love how their rivals were. It was a slightly changed name, but their rivals were basically ColecoVision.
Yeah. Oh God, it's such a. And every time
you're just thinking the whole time, he's like, yes, fuck ColecoVision.
And then every time that it pans over to them, you just see someone getting whipped.
Slave.
Oh, the first ColecoVision characters, one of them's I forgot their names. It's been forever. I need to go watch it again. The redhead.
The redhead.
With the black shirt.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because his friend's name was Jerry. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
What was the other guy's name?
He microwaved shit.
Yeah.
And then there was the girl, Mary. Mary was her name?
Yeah, Mary.
Yeah. And then the slut receptionist. Or the very batshit crazy receptionist.
And there's Black Steve.
Black Steve. Black Steve was the best.
And I love he wasn't just Steve, he was Black Steve.
He was Black Steve.
Like they had to say it all the time. It's like Black Steve. Or what was the kid's name? Was like Kim or something like that?
Benny.
Kenny? Tim, was it Kenny? Kenny.
It was Benny. The little Asian?
Benny, yeah. The Korean kid.
Game tester. Up on Mountain Dew and sugar and had him stay up all night.
And he was adopted by the company, so he legally lived there. Testing their games.
Like that's a great fucking show. It was really fucking good. And it went downhill because they chose a shit network.
It was the Dean was the
retarded frat boys.
The son of the guy who owned it.
Yeah. Oh, whenever they tried to make E.T., the E.T. episode. Such a great show.
Yeah. Somebody like Comedy Central or something just needs to buy that and pick it up.
I agree. Because that would be a great show that could line up really well with like South Park.
Or actually, screw Comedy Central because they're killing everything right now. Adult Swim just needs to pick it up.
Oh my God, Adult Swim should pick it up, yes. Because Adult Swim shows aren't honestly that great. The last show that I liked on Adult Swim, granted I haven't watched Adult Swim in a while, but Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah. I liked the first 2 seasons of Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty was good. I haven't seen the 3rd season. I haven't watched it.
3rd season, it's still good. It's just not as strong as the first 2.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's gotten more mainstream and popular, and
I think they even realized it because the end of the 3rd season kind of like said, nope, we're going back to the way things were.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much like a soft reset.
That's good.
Yeah.
Great. Because
shows to like. I used to like Robot Chicken, but it's just went on for so long that I don't think the passion's in it like it used to be.
I was gonna say I haven't watched Robot Chicken in years. I try to avoid Adult Swim because I feel like Adult Swim is kind of like Netflix almost, where they kind of accept any kind of dumb idea of a show.
As long as it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's my problem. Netflix used to be so strong when they first started doing their originals. Like for their first 2 seasons of originals, they had like an A+ rating. But then as soon as they started accepting all this stuff like all these random comedy programs and just random seasons of stuff. It's like I don't even know if I can trust watching something anymore.
I've watched Big Mouth, and I still don't know how I feel about it.
I'm not going to watch Big Mouth.
Like, there's been scenes where I just kind of chuckled to it, right?
Yeah.
And laughed. And then there were scenes where I'm like, this is just stupid. Like, this is just fucking stupid. There's one character that every time he came up on the screen, it pissed me the fuck off. Like, I've never gotten so mad at a show when a character comes on the screen that I've legit was like, man, fuck this show. Fast forward.
Until he's not on the screen anymore.
Yeah. Because he just, every time he was on screen, I couldn't find anything funny about him. And everyone's like, no, he gets funnier the later the show goes on.
And then he just never did.
And he just never did.
Yeah. I've had those experiences before.
It was the gym teacher of the show.
You know what's a good old Adult Swim show was Home Movies.
Oh my god, I loved Home Movies. Old Adult Swim was great because they actually fucking tried.
Back when they actually had that opening with like, all kids get out of the pool, it's time for Adult Swim.
Yeah, Moral Oral.
Ah, man, that show was hit and miss with me.
I love the Adventures of Mr. Pickle. Mr. Pickle. I hate Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric is like very, very hit and miss with me, and it's mostly miss.
I really can't stand them.
A couple of the songs I like, but I just
like. I would rather them get the license for the Mighty Bush.
Oh, the Mighty Boosh, yeah.
And I would much rather see that on Adult Swim than Tim and Eric.
The problem is like Tim and Eric, especially with like Tom Goes to the Mayor and everything, is so popular and pretty much what made the.
And I didn't like Tom Goes to the Mayor either.
No, I don't care too much for their sense of humor, except there occasionally there's good things. I did want to watch what was the name of it? It was like Scary Stories or Ghost Stories or something. They had a different show, and from the trailer, it looked completely different from the other stuff, and I was interested in it. And they're on the second season. I just haven't caught up and checked.
I'm trying to think. There's this one show that was on Adult Swim that was really shitty, and it was like this Native American dude with like a snake hand.
Oh, that's Xavier Renegade Angel. I never liked that show.
I was like, this is the stupidest fucking thing ever.
And that show has like some really hardcore fans to it too.
I don't like Metalocalypse.
I liked Metalocalypse.
Like I can quote it. Like Dr. Roscoe cracks me up, but other than that,
oh yeah, Roscoe, the rock and roll clown.
Yeah, other than that, I don't like the show. I'll quote Dr. Roscoe. I think he's fucking hilarious. I love cocaine.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Like I don't like the music. I don't like it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of low points to that show too, where it's just like flat. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think the show's kind of positive.
And Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I liked up until they started changing their names.
Yeah.
And then I was just kind of like, all right, I can't keep up with you anymore. I don't know if you're.
They started getting too weird with that show.
Yeah. And it got to the point right when they started changing the name of the seasons. It was like, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? Okay.
And they had that movie.
The movie was funny.
Yeah.
The movie was good. Don't talk, watch. Don't talk, watch.
But yeah, it does suffer from a lot of the same things that Netflix suffers from. I'm pretty much only watching like really high quality licensed stuff on Netflix these days. So like, I'll watch the Marvel stuff, you know. The last two of the Defenders thing wasn't as strong, even though I do really like Iron Fist. But Punisher was great. Like that was probably the best thing they put on.
And that's the thing that I'm really concerned about is when Disney takes their streaming service, I might stop my Netflix subscription.
I won't.
I might, because they're going to take...
I'm just going to pirate the Disney stuff because they don't have enough things to make a Disney subscription be worth it for me.
But they're buying Fox.
They have said they're going to be buying 20th Century Fox, which would ironically finally make Anastasia a Disney princess.
Such a great movie.
Yeah.
You know
they won't be losing any of the Marvel Netflix shows, at least the ones that are already established because they're Netflix originals.
Oh, speaking of Anastasia, they're making it a Broadway show. But the fact that it's a Broadway show is not really why I want to bring up Anastasia. It's a good segue. And then the fact that there's a SpongeBob Broadway musical. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Okay. Oh, God. It's cringe. It's absolute cringe.
I think the last SpongeBob thing I saw was the SpongeBob movie with David Hasselhoff showing up at the end.
I've seen both of them. Both SpongeBob movies. And the only thing that I remember from the second one was there was something about the credits, the after credits, that made me bust out laughing.
See, I like the SpongeBob movie. To me, it felt more like the first 3 seasons than SpongeBob had felt since then.
Oh, yeah. The original SpongeBob movie was hilarious. I was talking about the second one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one. I didn't even know there was a second one.
Sponge out of water or something like that. Yeah. Oh, shit. All right, I'm gonna send you the SpongeBob musical, and then I think I actually have to go to bed because I lost track of time.
Yeah, it's like 1:28.
All right, SpongeBob.
And then I need to go find more places that I can plug this Kickstarter. You should click the share button next time you see it on my thing. Because for all you know, you might have...
Well, yeah, I'll do that for you.
Yeah, I'll do that for you. You might have people on your friends list that aren't on mine that may be interested in it. Any reach helps.
SpongeBob musical Thanksgiving parade. There you go.
Oh God, thanks parade. Yeah, I'll check it out like immediately after this.
Oh shit, that's loud. The best part is it shows Matt Lauer, who was recently shit canned.
Yeah, for pretty dumb reasons too, because they can't substantiate any of the claims. But what you can substantiate is a bunch of NBC female reporters rubbing up on Olympic athletes during the Olympic game, with them looking very distasteful at being rubbed up on, and there's nothing that's going to be done about that. Because
you know what sucks though is that his career is pretty much ruined.
Yeah, well, probably not. I mean, his career in reporting, but his career in writing books is just going to take off. So that happens to anybody in these circumstances. Because you go from being famous to infamous, which is just another form of fame.
Yeah, I posted the parade on your Facebook.
Yeah, I'll check it out immediately after we're done with this.
Because it is the absolute cringiest thing ever. Like, I watched it and I'm like, this song is kind of catchy, but this is really cringy. Like, this doesn't need to be made. This does not need to be made at all.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go buy tickets for it. Just because it's one of those things where I'm the type of person where I'm like, I just kind of want to watch the building burn.
Yeah, I like reveling in chaos.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like creating it, but I love like just sitting there and enjoying naturally occurring chaos.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like this show is.
Just like I like watching all these horrible riots. I don't like the fact that riots are going on, but if they're gonna go on, give me at least a camera to watch it through.
You're just gonna be like, all right. Well, with the SpongeBob thing, I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay, man. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, man. The next time you do this, I'll do this again. These are fun. All right, man. I'll see you. Let me know what you think of SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah, I will.
All right, man. Peace out.
Okay, and with that, I'm going to put the very last plug for this. And actually, by doing that, I can pull up the image for it for you. So, if you have not been to the Kickstarter, the link is in the description below. It has been this entire time. Please go check it out. It is a wonderful story that I wrote myself. It is, as far as I'm aware, 100% original. I'm sure there have been stories like this that somebody else has put up there, but I haven't read it beforehand, so it came out of my head. But, you know, great minds think alike. Story of a girl in an accident, comes a bunny girl, has to save the world, or save the day before she can go back to normal and just, you know, enjoy her life. It's just a fun, quirky story, adventurous. It's like the old Tales to Astonish or Amazing Fantasy Marvel anthology stuff. I have 12 issues. I have the synopsis for all 12 already done. I just have to script them out if we get to that point. And this is issue number 1. Support the Kickstarter, and then each issue after that will just be supported on sales alone. Any amount that you have helps, even if you just want to throw $5 away, if you just 10 if you just want a digital copy, whatever. And more importantly, share it with everybody, because who knows who else would want to support it. It's a possible career path. And with that, I will sign off. Bye.